Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Coachman, and this is Super Bowl Sunday on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New Orleans Saints. With that, it's time for Super Bowl 53. For the call, let's go to Atlanta, as it is my pleasure to hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Hi again, everyone. Brandon Godden along with the man who has had to stick with me all season long, Charles Davis. And Charles, the anticipation, the hype, the media coverage, all in the rear-view mirror now. We can finally get down to playing some football.
Yeah, don't worry about that part. I'll ride or die with you anytime. You know that. But here's the best thing about this. Everyone talks about trying to keep things normal as they approach for Super Bowl. There is no such thing as normal. The pageantry, the hype, all of that is more intense than anyone could ever imagine. What you're trying to do is embrace it in one way and make sure it doesn't totally knock you off your game. That's why the night before the big one, teams often switch hotels, try and give those guys that last chance to breathe a little bit before they go out and play.
After Joe Namath and the guarantee, we are underway in Super Bowl 53. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by their quarterback who grew up just outside of Cleveland on Lake Erie, Mitchell Trubisky.
When I talk with people around the league about Mitchell Trubisky when he's coming out of North Carolina, those that had questions about him, it often centered in on the fact that he was only a one-year starter and wondered why he couldn't beat out the guy ahead of him beforehand. I just locked in on the athletic ability, the accuracy, and then once he got the football, how the team responded to him. I think his upside is big.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. He'll be dropped at the 30. The shifty move got him a couple extra on the play. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The wideout, Chris Hogan, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 5. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Now Trubisky. And that is incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. Back deep is DeAnthony Thomas. big boot that time. 57 yards, the official distance. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. Coleman now. And he'll have the 1st down as he's up to about the 18. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Big conversion. They were backed up deep to start the drive, able to pick up the 1st.
So the goal is at least a 1st down here, right? Pick up a 1st down, give yourself some breathing room, and if you have to punt after that, maybe you've helped with field position and you've helped out your defense.
And avoided a 3 and out on their opening drive. Luck on 1st down. Forced out to his left. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Coleman. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Over the middle, that's caught by Miller. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on there heals a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Throwing again is Lott. And able to find Green. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the 1st down.
Okay, I'm not so great at math, but I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, what do you do defensively to adjust?
Well, this is where you got to make a decision as a defensive coordinator. Do you really get after the quarterback, or maybe you tighten down on the receivers, bump them off of their routes, chip away at their timing, so things aren't as precise as they've been so far in this game.
And they'll get him down right about the 20. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. The tackle there by Michael Wilhoit.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
From the gun on third down, Luck. Escape, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Cliff Averill in there to drop him for a loss of 10, and it'll be 4th and long.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And now a look at the Saints starting defense.
Linebackers still often control defenses, and C.J. Mosley does exactly that for his. A Pro Bowler 3 of his first 4 years. Not only can he run and hit, he diagnoses plays so well, feels them out, and make sure his team is organized and in the right spot on each and every snap.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he connects with Ertz. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
They go play action here on first down. And this will be caught at the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On first down, Trubisky. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the veteran Antoine Bethea. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And you can't say enough about our man making the interception right there, Brandon. It's his 12th year in the league, and you told me before the game that he still got it, and he does. What a play that was to come away with the football.
And they'll run it here. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Here's Coleman. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. Open man, a switch are complete. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On 1st and 10, Luck. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Back to the air. Luck on 2nd down. Green able to dance free. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. It's a big play there for the Saints. 3-0 is our score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Luck. Green's got it over the middle. 4 catches already here in this Super Bowl. He's got another 1st down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to T.J. Jones that time. 3rd down here.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
A shotgun snap for Luck. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the 1st half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. Open man is Holmes. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A very solid gain of 27. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Third and goal, Gurley. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw is Love. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Out of the gun, Luck. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe. To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Blitz coming, and down he goes. William Hayes in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Dumps it off to Gurley. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And this is going to be incomplete.
So they look like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Here's Thomas. What a spin. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
To throw on second down is Love. Drops it off for Coleman. Give him 30 yards there.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
They'll fake it. Now Luck. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Open man is Miller. He's got it. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. And they get 10 yards there and convert on third. From the gun, here's Love. His throw caught at about the 5. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. With a first touchdown of Super Bowl 53. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead is now 10-3. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Todd Gurley and the offense, they get set and trot back out there now. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try to mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game. But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. On third down, they'll run it with Gurley. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here's Matt Hawk now, as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. Returnable for Thomas. Might have needed just one more block as it stands. 37-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now left. On the screen, this is Coleman. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up third. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch, just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. And he's got Miller. And he's got this down to the 35. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Luck now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Luck throwing again. Flush to his right. On the right side, caught by Green. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. On first down, Luck. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've come upon the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. The halftime show, quite a spectacle, but it's back to football for the second half of Super Bowl 53. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Andrew Luck and company heading back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, well, get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it second down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. They give him a gain of 38.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a first down throw. Lock. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Dalvin Tomlinson in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Here's Luck now on 2nd down. He'll buy some time right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Dez Bryant, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Long. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny? When we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Again, they run with Gurley. And he stopped immediately there. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Trubisky. And he hits his man, Matthews. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. looking to throw. Trubisky on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Calling no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Here's A.J. Green as he gets set to go again on offense. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Eluding the pressure right, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll toss it to Coleman. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And Green with a catch left side. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On 2nd down, here's Locke. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
From the 50, it's Locke. Flushed out right. He completes it to Bryant. Touchdown, New Orleans. Des Bryant, 50 yards. And the Saints add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
So this drive spans 7 plays, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Look at the spin. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes this all and puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They go play action. Trubisky. Over the middle, that's caught by Hogan. His second catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On first down, it's Gurley. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On 2nd down, Trubisky, and his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time, and now it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They're going on 4th down. It's Trubisky. Open man is Holmes. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11. The hitch route works. It's something you see quite a bit on 3rd, 4th down in these situations, and they got it to go for him.
And what you're counting on is a couple of things. One, you want the guy catching that route to make people miss right away, almost like a punt returner. And 2, you're expecting to pick up some blocks once he gets to the 2nd level, able to get downfield. And on that play, everything came together. It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
2nd and 10. It's Trubisky again. Dumps it off to Gurley. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. 1 quarter remains in Super Bowl 53. We'll return with more after this. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. Now a play fake here on first down. That is caught at the 7. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. to him up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, Trubisky. This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
Here we go. It's Trubisky on 4th down. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Andre Holmes from 4 yards out. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Fielded about a yard deep. They'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And caught right side, Green. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Luck on 1st down. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Luck. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. 2nd and 10, Luck again. The left side completion to Jones. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. Now they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This will be 3rd and 5. Luck throwing again. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's Trubisky to throw. And Matthews over the middle with the grab. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Luck out to his left. Green with a catch left side. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now it's Love. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Dalvin Tomlinson in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. Escaping the pressure right. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked to the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's brought down. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. Time for a break. We're back to crown a champion after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. To the air again, Luck. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. A.J. Green, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air. Because right now, we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
They get the conversion. And, Charles, when you only have 2 yards to go, what do you think of the toss play? Because initially it kind of set you back a little bit.
It does, especially if you get a lot of pressure coming towards you. But if you can get to the edge, if you seal the edge with your blocking, often your tackle or your tight end on what they call the play side where the ball goes, you can get to the corner, and that allows those big guys to get out ahead of the runner.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On third down, Trubisky. Ertz over the middle. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Now, before they run this fourth down play, we're going to get a timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important fourth down. If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on fourth down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That's to his running back, complete. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that may write a finish to this Super Bowl. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 38 yards on the scamper there. Luck gonna throw it. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A.J. Green with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Saints add on to their lead. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now. It's Trubisky. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 23 yards on the play. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. And this is hauled in by Matthews. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 12 more yards there and another first down. Now Trubisky on first down. And that's going to be incomplete.
See, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Trubisky to throw again. And Matthews has it right side. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Again, it's Trubisky. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
One last shot for Trubisky. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brett Grimes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Lombardi Trophy is headed back to the Bayou. The New Orleans Saints, Super Bowl champions. For the victors getting to hoist that Lombardi Trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The journey to get to this game is incredible. And then to finally break through and win it when all eyes are on this game alone because there's nothing else going on, that's just got to be absolutely amazing. The task, incredible. But the accomplishment, forever.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gunn signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.